Hello everyone and welcome to another tournament in review here on SkaredCast. I am taking my 2,000 point competitive Drukhari MSU list to a grand tournament in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. 5 rounds this weekend. Let's dive in, let's look at my list, let's see how the games went. Let's do this!
The Dark Kid.
As always, for anybody who's not used to watching one of these, I basically take my list, I go to a tournament, you get to see me play this list at a tournament, see how I do, and then you can either take it, adapt it, do what you want, because playing Warhammer 40,000 is really fun, but can be really complicated, and I hope my experiences help you get better at the game. But bam! The entire army is set up, ready to go, I'm packing all my stuff, so let's dive into the list and see what it is. And here we have 2,000 points of Drukhari. This list has been one that I won a Rogue Trader tournament not too long ago with, and it's divided into 3 triple patrols, like 3 patrols. There is a Coven patrol led by Drazar, the Master of Blades. He is the Warlord with Hatred Eternal. 5 Grotesques, 3 units of Racks, and 3 Venoms with Chain Snares and Grisly trophies. This gives me a Dark Creed as my obsession, so I get a -1 leadership bubble around them, and they get to hit stuff better in combat if they're equal or low leadership than them. The other 2 patrols use the Cabal of the Obsidian Rose. That gives me an extra 6 inches on ranges for guns, and a free reroll to wound. I've been finding that reroll to wound very useful into the current meta. There's a lot of rules that stop you from rerolling to hit in the game, so having that reroll to wound is quite handy. Archon Skari and Rizalia, the Succubus, lead both of the patrols. I have Ancient Evil and the Jin Blade on the Archon, Precision Strikes and the Triptych Whip on the Succubus. I have 3 units of Incubi within the 2 patrols. One of them is 6 strong. I have a big core of the Archon, so 9 models. That's lots of wounds for very cheap. You can't find these models anymore, but if you have them or can convert them, I highly recommend you add one to your Drukhari list. The core of the list are 6 Kabalite warrior squads. Each squad has a blaster, and each sergeant has a phantasm grenade launcher. One of the squads has been upgraded to be Trueborn to make sure they hit better. To round them off, 3 Raiders with a Dark Lance and Phantasm Grenade Launcher on each of the Raiders. And there you have it. That's 2,000 points of the list. Something I highly recommend if you're going to a tournament, mark your units. Now, I do have squad markings. As you can see, I've got like lines, different kinds of lines and stuff that all represent different squads and things I want to put in them. But for a tournament play, I like putting squad marks on them. This is a company you can find, and they slide on and off. You can color the tabs, so at a glance you can see during the game who's in what squad. It stops being confusing, and then I go the extra step and I mark the leaders and the special weapons in my units, so that while I'm putting out for coherency and I'm trying to figure out casualties and things like that, I'm not wasting time trying to figure out who's the sergeant, who's a special weapon. It's just marked. I know it's easy for me, and it saves me energy and time. Well, there you have it, folks. This army is ready to rock and roll. I'm very, very excited to try it out. Let's go to the event. Let's play some games. 5 rounds is what it is. We'll come back and break it down. It is tournament day. We're here at the Radisson, and we're going to have a fun time. John the Cron. It's also really cold. I don't know if you can hear me, but Necrons. All right, let's dive into the games today. And here we are, round number 1 at the GT. There's Justin, and everybody's come out to play. It is a Sharks tank of people who play games, because we've got like so many Canadian WTC players. There's Tim, for example. We got Sam Procopio, who is like the best Blood Angel player in the world. He's here somewhere. John the Cron's over there as well. It's a great time. I get to play a rematch from last weekend, Hunter. Check out Bloodbath and Beyond. They're doing streams and stuff all the time. But it is a very similar mission to what we played last time. They're not the same mission though. And yeah, same style, different mission. We're playing Put Bombs Down. So wish me luck. It is round number 1 of 3 for the day. Let's dive in, shall we?
End of round number 1. I did end up winning against Hamza. It was 69 to 64. Very, very close game. I ended up going first, and it came down to the wire. Stopped him from scoring a warp patrol, but he really stopped me from getting my banners and my Herd the Prey. We both played totally different than the last game that we played, and that was awesome. It was nice to see a different play style. Okay, on to round number 2. And here we go, round number 2. I get to play the only Imperial Knights player at the event. So it's going to be really fun. He took Oath, he took Yield, and he took Grind Them Down. I took Retrieve Data, Behind Enemy Lines, and Kill Tanks, because that's what we're going to do. The deployment was really interesting. We're playing, of course, a whole 2 mission, which is always very spicy. Okay, let's dive in to the game. Wish me luck. Knights are always a tough one for me. And that is the end of the game. What a bloodbath. This was probably the best mission for me to play against Knights. There is 1 Knight left with 17 wounds. I have a few units left, but I still have units left, and that's key. The biggest thing here was I stopped the Knights from scoring primary, so it was a 97 to 31 with paint. And with that, good second round. I was very nervous about this matchup, but I was able to get good positioning, choke the Knights into like corridors, and was able to kill the things I needed to kill, which was very useful. Okay, so with that, on to round number 3, the last round of the game of the day, and let's see how it does. But so far, I'm loving the list, of course, because I love my list. My list is great. We're here playing round number 3. I'm playing Eric, and he's playing his Dark Eldar, which is exciting. It's basically a mirror match, and so far it's been the battle of like trades. And I feel like I've got up on the trades right now. I killed the succubus. I still have my characters alive. So it's like back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, wish me luck. It is conversion. I took Take Them Alive, No Prisoners, and R&D. And he took Behind Enemy Lines, Take Them Alive, and Raw, and R&D as well. But he took Behind Enemy Lines. I took No Prisoners. That was the big difference there. So definitely an interesting thing as we move into round number 3. Well, it's the start of day number 2. I totally was really tired last night, so we went to get food. I didn't talk about my last game, but ended up playing against the Dark Eldar. Did win it. However, sadly, the game only went 4 turns. I did win by like 4 or 5 points. And, very, very back and forth game in the middle of the board. But with that, going on to day 2, round 5, I get to play against demons, so that's going to be really interesting. Let's get to that table. And here we are on round number 4 of this event. I'm playing Demons on the Scouring, Bellicor, a Bloodthirster, Scarbrand, bunch of Bloodletters, Flamers, and I ended up going second, which is great, in my opinion, which is really good. So we'll see what the Demons do. Either they commit or they stay back and kind of wait. So we'll see what happens. Other than that, I'm very excited for this game. And wish me luck. It's always a crazy murder matchup, so we'll see how it ends up. And that is the end of the game. So I did end up winning that game. It was 79 to 69 for the Dark Eldar. I got last turn, which then gave me an extra 2 points for Behind Enemy Lines, 4 points, and 12 points. So I literally swung that game 16 points in the last turn, plus an Assassinate, which I got, which was like a 20-point swing. So that last turn really, really helped me in this matchup. It was a very, very tight, grueling bloodbath of a game with just everything dying. The Demons only had a Bloodthirster left and a Bellicor, and I had like little units all over the place, but it was just an absolute tear. Loved it. Awesome. On to the last round of the event. And it is the end of the tournament, round 5. Playing against Tau, who went first. Very, very cool. Playing against Thomas, who I haven't played like ever. So it's really exciting. We always dodge each other. He's been on a tear, just murdering people left and right. It has been great for Thomas. So, yeah, we're playing the mission 33. I am playing a very defensive game today. Played Banners, Herd the Prey, and Bring It Down. And he's trying to get Auspexes or whatever on the corner apexes. The desirable outcome, which is a late game because he picked Kauyon. And no prisoners. He just wants to kill a bunch of the Dark Eldar. So with that, we're moving into the turn. Wish me luck. Last game of the event. We're having a good time. And we'll see how it goes. Awesome. Woo! Wish us luck. And that is the end of the tournament. I did end up coming in second place because we had 2 undefeated players. Sam Procopio, the best Blood Angel player in the world, got first place. And I got a cool little silver trophy and a Katie stands. Okay, let's go back to the, I don't know if I talked about me winning that game. I think I talked about me winning my last game. If not, I won my last game, 91 to 40 some points. I crushed the Tau. It was very, very, very tight. Had lots of stuff stay alive to keep me in the game, and then I got really aggressive into the Tau lines. Thomas is so excited. Okay, let's go back to the studio. We'll talk about the list, what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I might change for the future, or what I will stay the same and maybe start developing a different list, because this list is pretty developed and I like it. It's fun. Okay, back to the studio.
Well, I will say that trophy looks pretty awesome, and this prize looks pretty amazing. So let's break down the list, what worked, what didn't work, and what I will change for next time. Well, there you have it, an undefeated GT list. 5 rounds, 5 very tough opponents, and 5 wins. That is what I'm talking about. I feel like over the course of months, or the various months I've been practicing with this list, it is finally at its final form, and one that I'm very, very excited about. In terms of list strengths and things that worked, just the multiple small units are what makes this list work. It means that towards the end of the game, I might have 1 model from one squad, 2 models from another squad, 1 model from another squad, but I still have objectives secured on the table. I still have a blaster. I still have a phantasm grenade launcher. I still have the ability to kill something in combat. It is so much stuff all over the place that I can play the game across the entire table, and it makes for a very overwhelming sense. My opponent has lots of little things they have to deal with, and a lot of the times if they split fire or they misjudge how, or I spike invulnerable saves or something like that, it can all of a sudden turn their killing a unit to not killing it to then losing primary. It's like a delicate dance that you do with this list. I love the synergy between Dark Creed, -1 leadership bubble, and of course the Grizzly Trophies, -2 leadership bubble, with the Phantasm grenade launchers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 D3 potential mortal wounds per turn. And I will tell you that did the lion's share of damage in the shooting phase for the entire weekend. I love how balanced this list is, because not only can it shoot, it has great close combat potential. Grotesques, Drazar, the Succubus and the Archon, 3 units of Incubi, and the Court can all do work in close combat. Of course, in a pinch, you can use the Racks, for example, but even the Venoms with chain snares. 6 attacks, might kill 1, maybe 2 models in a unit. I even had a Venom kill Longstrike. Take the last wound off a Longstrike with a charge in my final game. If they do kill stuff, that -3 leadership bubble becomes all the more powerful against things that have multiple wounds, or even units, just that attrition game being so well. So they can also close combat, as well as being useful by doing the negative leadership debuffs. So in this rare occasion, I'm not really going to say, hey, what would I change? Because I'm not going to change this list. I feel like this list has achieved apotheosis, where nothing I can do will add or take away from this list. I would use this as a baseline for right now Warhammer 9th edition Nephilim Dark Eldar. It's like the epitome of what you can build, and something that is proven to work and can show you success on the battlefield. So the question becomes where to go from here. Well, this is definitely going to be something I continue to develop to go to Las Vegas Open. The key here is now to play all the matchups I haven't played. So Votan, I haven't really played much into that matchup. Maybe play some more games into Tyranids. Get some practice against different factions as well. That is the key now. Once you find a list, you have to play it over and over again. And it might get repetitive. It might get boring at times, but that grind makes you good at playing your list into anything that might cross your path. Well, that's that. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know with a comment down below what you think of this list and whether or not it has inspired you to play Dark Eldar or to build something similar to this. Of course, a huge shout out to the channel Patreons. If you want to support me and the content I do, the best way to do that is through Patreon or with a YouTube channel membership. The links are down in the description. A huge shout out to all the patrons without whom none of this would be possible. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Other than that, I'll be continuing to go to more events, so leave a comment, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see. I'll probably take this list to a couple more events because it's freaking awesome, and I love this list so much. But if you have any suggestions, would like to see me play anything, let me know with a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Skari, your grateful host. Happy holidays and all that good stuff as snow starts to fall, and I will catch you on the next video. The Dark Kin. Skari out. Bye, everybody.